How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Liberty Bowl. Well, just 9 days before the repealing of Title 42, which is going to allow a flood of illegal immigrants into America, we get a pretty much show of things to come, right? So in the what is being called the largest caravan of illegal immigrants crossing over the border in a single period in history, we had a caravan of about 1,000 plus illegal immigrants crossing over the border. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out this video here of all these crossings. We're going to go ahead and read some news articles, and we're going to go ahead and have a discussion about what we think is going on. All right, but before we get into all that, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, check it out, you guys. All right, there's really no sound to this, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk over this. All right, so in New York, they were over there complaining about getting bus loads of illegal immigrants sent to them. You saw what happened over there in Martha's Vineyard. They had them out of there and gone within 72 hours, something like that. Back on buses, completely fucking get the fuck up off our island. Yep. But you see here, this is what we here in border states have to deal with on the regular. I mean, obviously not always in a caravan of this size, but generally with this mass influx of people, which end up being a drag on the economy, which end up being a drag on society because they end up soaking up tax dollars, all this and that. In California, shit, they don't give a fuck. California, they want all these people to come over there. I mean, in California, they're over there starting to give reparations to black people when California was never even a fucking slave state. I mean, what the fuck? Absolute fucking madness, people. But this is what you get when you go ahead and vote blue. Fucking nuts. All right, let's go ahead and check out the article.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to foot.
We're losing our democracy!
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Wake up!
Before we get into that, let's get into this. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and check out what's going on over here in El Paso, Texas. All right, so a migrant caravan of more than 1,000 crosses illegally into El Paso, Texas. All right, so we just showed you the video just a minute ago. This is some absolutely insane shit, and it's not just 1,000 people. It's just that this individual caravan happened to be of 1,000 people. Throughout the day, in this past 24-hour period, they've encountered 2,397 migrants in the past 24-hour period. All right. And if anything, this is just really a sign of things to come from I believe it's 9 days. They're going to be on the December 21st. They're going to be, finally repealing Title 42, which was, of course, the, COVID emergency pandemic measure, which basically allowed us to send them back into Mexico, right? We, essentially it was the remain in Mexico policy. So the Biden administration has been working tirelessly to go ahead and try and get this Title 42 repealed as quickly as possible. But at the same time, of course, they don't want to give up their emergency powers, right? So they're not going to be able to, they're not going to, declare the pandemic over or anything like that. They just want to make sure that they could get their, illegal immigrants back into the country as soon as possible, right? So we also have this video here from Joe Biden, who was just in Arizona last week, and they asked him. Well, he was down there because I believe that they're opening up some type of a superconductor or nanochip factories, some shit like that out here in Arizona. But that and of course that is important, but just the way that he puts it when this person asks him like, well, so you're down here in Arizona, are you gonna go check out the border? Well, go ahead and check out the video.
State and not visit the border.
Because there's more important thing going on. They're going to invest billions of dollars in a new enterprise.
Right? So, yeah, clearly the Biden administration does not give a single fuck about the border, right? It's essentially open season down here, and as you know, I live here in Arizona, and we now have Katie Hobbs in office. She went ahead and secured herself in office, and it's fixing to get just as bad, if not worse, here in Arizona, right? So, as you know, Greg Abbott has taken a page out of what Carrie Lake intended to do here in Arizona if she were to become governor, and essentially declare basically an invasion. Use a states' rights and states' power to declare an invasion. Greg Abbott has indicated that he plans on doing this exact same thing, right? And so we'll see how that ends up going. But let's go ahead and check out this article here, see what's going on, right? So Fox News has obtained footage showing the movement of a migrant caravan with more than 1,000 people. Crossed over the U.S.-Mexico border into El Paso, Texas. The video taken Sunday night comes as a U.S. Customs and Border Protection sources said Monday that its El Paso sector has seen 2,397 migrant encounters in the last 24 hours alone. The city of El Paso has a dashboard that reports Border Patrol in a sector currently has around 5,100 migrants in custody. Customs and Border Patrol's El Paso, Texas sector on the Texas border with Mexico has seen an increase in encounters, Customs and Border Patrol said in a statement to Fox News on Monday afternoon. In order to process individuals as safely and expeditiously as possible, Border Patrol agents from Big Bend and Customs and Border Patrol officers from El Paso, Texas, or from El Paso field offices are assisting with processing. Officials have started mass releases of several hundred migrants into El Paso city streets, right? So they're actually, hundreds of them are being released into the streets. Of course, this is out of thousands. There's also been, the whole scandals going on with fucking, that Project Veritas has been exposing with, essentially, they're just kind of shipping these people around, giving them, fake passports, all this and that type shit. And it's essentially human trafficking, right? It's essentially, full on human trafficking. A lot of them are being, sold into sex work, things like that. And definitely check out that Project Veritas expose that they're doing on that. So prior to these border crossings, Mexican police escorted nearly 20 buses full of migrants into the Mexican city of Ciudad Juarez, which is located across from El Paso. The police released the migrants to various non-governmental organizations. So in other words, to the coyotes, right? The migrants then walked from the non-governmental organizations and crossed illegally into El Paso. Video recorded by a passenger inside one of the migrant buses showed their Mexican police escort. And of course, we hit a paywall. A photograph also displays part of the massive group of migrants walking to the border after they were dropped off at non-governmental organizations in Ciudad Juarez. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this shit a little bit. All right. So clearly, as I had mentioned, the Biden administration is showing no signs of concern with the border. They know that it is a problem, yet they are willfully ignoring it. What's the reason for this? Well, there's multiple reasons. As I said, there's one, they're secretly moving people around to, for these, they're, secretly moving people around, giving them passports, all this and that type shit. There's another reason that they, essentially want to go ahead and replace voters because, I don't know, apparently there's, from what I've been reading lately, I'm not going to go ahead and fucking say, anything specific, but there seems to be really, really, really lax laws on illegal immigrants being allowed to vote in federal elections. And, like I said, I'm not going to say anything specific, but look into it. It seems to be pretty lax, and so that's could be another one of the reasons why they want to at least leave the borders wide open. I mean, another darker reason could be, of course, they want fentanyl pouring in. They want all these fucking drugs. They want all these fucking people essentially either drug addicted, dependent, or they want more statistics, right? The whole Democratic Party is about dependence. They don't want they want people to be constantly afraid. They want people to be dependent on them, right? They want you to be afraid of the big scary monster outside, and they want you to just essentially depend on them, right? Another reason is essentially the whole replacement theory, which is essentially a Democratic theory, which is, we can replace them. We can replace the conservatives. We can replace the Republicans. We can essentially replace fucking anybody that does not go ahead and vote with the Democratic Party. And there's like I said, I've mentioned before, there's a reason that they tend to turn away, a lot of people from, Cuba and Venezuela, generally because they are fleeing communism. There's a reason that they don't like the Cuban vote, especially down there in Florida, because they tend to vote Republican because they recognize the signs of communism and they see what the Democratic Party is leaning towards, right? So yeah, they generally want immigrants here. They just don't want the ones that aren't going to vote with them, right? Let's also not forget the other reason that the Democrats, especially the ones like Nancy Pelosi, want immigrants here.
The fact is that we have a responsibility to secure our border.
When, boy? When? Are you going to get your act together?
We also have a responsibility to recognize the importance of newcomers to our nation. Right now, the best thing that we can do for our economy is to have comprehensive immigration reform.
Gross. Oh, good God almighty me. I think he's the Antichrist.
We have a shortage of workers in our country, and you see even in Florida, some of the farmers and the growers saying, why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops.
You could build your muscles picking strawberries. Bend and stoop, like the Mexicans.
Down here. But that doesn't mean that we don't recognize our moral responsibility as well.
Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you.
Well, that's about all, you guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video out. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Follow me on fucking Twitter, Facebook, any fucking where, Instagram. Links are all in the description below. I'm on Truth Social. I appreciate all you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Fuck off.